Welcome to Awasan Wire. Today we're talking about Mahathir's defamation suit against Anwar. We're really seeing history play out here, wouldn't you say? Former Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad suing the current Prime Minister, Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim. This goes way beyond typical political disagreements. It's a full-blown legal battle.
It absolutely is. And the core issue, well, it revolves around comments Anwar made accusing Mahathir and his family of illicitly amassing wealth during his time in office.
Illicit wealth accumulation.
It strikes right at Mahathir's legacy, doesn't it? Especially for someone who served for so long.
And the amount he's seeking really underlines that, 150 million ringgit in damages.
Wow, yeah.
That's a huge sum. It seems designed to show just how serious he views the damage to his name, especially coming from the current PM.
Oh, definitely. That scale is deliberate. It's saying the alleged damage isn't minor, it's catastrophic for his reputation.
Okay, let's get into the specifics then. How is Mahathir actually arguing this is defamation? You need to prove the comments were aimed squarely at him, right? Anwar made these remarks at a People's Justice Party event back in March 2023.
Exactly. And the proof, well, it hinges on one specific phrase. Mahathir's legal team pointed out that Anwar referred to the leader who was prime minister for 22 years and 22 months.
Ah, that number.
Yes. Mahathir himself confirmed, look, he's the only person in Malaysia, maybe even the world, who served exactly that long over 2 separate periods. It's like a fingerprint, almost. Doesn't need a name.
So it's a very calculated way to identify him without naming him directly. Once that link is made, what's the actual accusation? What's the core of the insult that Mahathir says is worth 150 million ringgit?
The accusations are quite severe. Essentially, that Mahathir used his power as PM to enrich himself, to benefit his family and close associates, maybe even involving illicit money transfers overseas.
So we're talking systemic corruption, abuse of power, serious stuff.
Very serious. These aren't just casual criticisms. They're aimed at dismantling his image, particularly as someone who fought corruption himself.
Right. Now, here's what I find really interesting. Anwar has made similar claims for years, hasn't he? Ever since their big falling out in 1998. So why sue now? Why not 10, 15 years ago?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And it's central to Mahathir's argument. He basically said in court, look, when Anwar was in the opposition making these claims, well, Mahathir didn't really care, or at least not enough to sue.
So he's saying it wasn't as damaging then.
Precisely. He claimed the impact became extremely serious, that's his phrase, only after Anwar became prime minister in November 2022.
Ah, okay. So the argument isn't just about what was said, but who said it and what position they hold. And opposition leaders' words are one thing.
Exactly. But when the sitting prime minister says it, someone who, theoretically has access to government files, intelligence reports,
Yeah.
it carries much more weight.
It suddenly sounds like it could be official, like a statement of fact backed by the state.
That's Mahathir's point. He even brought up social media commentary after Anwar's 2023 speech, arguing it showed how much more seriously people took the allegations coming from the PM's office. The reputational harm, he argues, is exponentially greater now.
Which brings us to the evidence part. Mahathir is basically saying Anwar has been making these claims for 27 years without proof. He's demanding Anwar show the evidence, the secret bank accounts, the specific contracts given to family.
Yes, he's really putting the burden of proof squarely on Anwar. Mahathir's position is, you're the prime minister, you made the claim, now back it up in court. Show the evidence or admit you were lying.
That's a bold move. It forces a court to examine political rhetoric, potentially setting a precedent.
It absolutely does. It asks how much proof a leader needs before making such strong public accusations of corruption.
Okay, let's talk about Mahathir's defense regarding his own finances. What did he actually say under oath about his income during those 22 years and 22 months?
He was very clear. In his sworn statement, he insisted his only source of income while prime minister was his official government salary. Nothing else.
Only his salary, no other income.
That's what he testified. He stated he never personally amassed wealth or received any income beyond that official pay.
Now, Anwar's legal team must have presented some documents, right? Trying to counter that. What was Mahathir's response to their evidence?
He essentially dismissed it all. His stance was that whatever documents Anwar's team submitted were irrelevant. They didn't prove the specific accusation of personal enrichment or illicit wealth accumulation on his part.
Okay, this is where it gets really detailed. Mahathir had to specifically deny involvement in some very big, very well-known corporate events from his time in power. These aren't small things.
No, not at all. These are major economic events, often linked to controversies about government bailouts or contracts, and crucially involving his family members or associates. He was very specific in denying he gave any orders regarding these.
Right. Can you walk us through those key denials, starting with the Asian financial crisis era?
Sure. First, he flatly denied ordering the government bailout of Malaysian International Shipping Corporation Berhad MISC Shipping Holdings back in 1997.
That was huge news then, especially because his eldest son, Mirzan, was involved with the company.
Exactly. Mirzan was a shareholder and director.
Yeah.
So Mahathir's denying any personal directive in that bailout during a major crisis.
Okay, what else? There were contracts involving his other son, Mukriz, right?
Yes. He denied involvement in contracts awarded to Opcom Holdings Berhad, where Mukriz was a director. Specifically, a fiber optic cable contract worth around 214 million ringgit and another unified partnership contract for about 11 million ringgit.
Again, significant amounts, government-linked projects.
Definitely. Then third, he denied any role in granting a manufacturing permit in 2002 to Kincana Petroleum Berhad. His son Mosani was linked to that company.
So denying influence in the oil and gas sector entry for his son. And the last one?
The last major one mentioned was Perwaja Steel. He denied involvement in the government injecting funds into Perwaja.
Perwaja Steel, that's a name loaded with history. A massive industrial project that faced huge losses, management issues under Eric Chia.
Precisely. By denying involvement in the funding decisions for Perwaja, he's trying to distance himself from its financial problems and the controversies surrounding it.
So these four denials, MISC, Opcom, Kincana, Perwaja, are Mahathir basically using the court to push back on the record against decades of cronyism allegations.
That seems to be the strategy, to formally address these long-standing narratives head-on.
The court proceedings themselves had a bit of drama too, didn't they? Mahathir actually testified, saw the video of Anwar's speech, but then things stopped.
That's right. It was quite abrupt. He was on the stand for only about 30 minutes. Then his lawyers requested an adjournment.
Why? What was the reason given?
They informed the High Court that Mahathir had just taken some medication and felt he didn't have the strength or stamina to continue speaking normally, especially facing cross-examination.
Understandable, perhaps, given his age. But it certainly adds another layer of unpredictability to this whole affair. So what's the next step in the trial?
The case is adjourned for now. The next big phase will be when the defense, Anwar's team, gets to start their cross-examination of Mahathir. That's where things will likely get very intense.
Yeah, that's where they'll try to pick apart his testimony and denials.
Exactly. They'll try to show inconsistencies or present evidence that contradicts his claims. The focus will be whether they can actually substantiate Anwar's original allegations.
So stepping back, what does all this mean for politics in Malaysia more broadly? This is much bigger than just Mahathir versus Anwar, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. This case could set a really significant precedent. It's testing the line between political rhetoric, where, let's face it, strong claims are often made, and actual legal defamation, especially when the person making the claims is the Prime Minister.
Right. If Anwar loses.
If Anwar loses, it might make current leaders much more cautious about publicly accusing predecessors or opponents of past corruption without having ironclad, ready-to-present evidence. It could chill that kind of political attack.
And if Mahathir loses?
Well, if Mahathir loses, it's almost like a court validating or at least finding credible basis for those long-standing accusations against him and his family regarding wealth accumulation during his tenure. It would be a major blow to his legacy.
It really forces you, the listener, to think about this fundamental question. How much proof should a leader, especially the Prime Minister, need before making very serious corruption allegations in public?
Should their word, backed by the authority of their office, be enough initially? Or must they have the concrete evidence first, knowing they might have to defend it in court?
It's a huge challenge for political accountability and the standard of public discourse. Definitely something to keep watching.
No doubt about it. The outcome will resonate for a long time.
Remember to like and subscribe for more videos like this.